Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and welcome to the Ultra League Halloween Cup. This is the exact same rules as the Great League Halloween Cup: Bug, Poison, Dark, Fairy, and Ghost, but now in a 2500 CP meta. And today, I'm going to be showcasing one of the most powerful picks for the Ultra League Halloween Cup, and that is Chill Drive GENESECT. Chill Drive GENESECT is running Fury Cutter, Magnet Bomb, and Ice Techno Blast, and it is an absolute menace. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches and check out Chill Drive GENESECT in action in the Ultra League Halloween Cup. Hopping into the first match, picking up a tough lead, A9 into Shadow Drapion, so I will immediately save switch into GENESECT and start farming up a massive amount of energy. They're going to fire off a Crunch. Crunch does quite a bit of damage, but I am able to hang on, build up to the Techno Blast, and bait with the Magnet Bomb. Magnet Bomb is able to get the shield. That's massive. They're going to fire off another Crunch, and I'm more than happy to commit a shield here, and then I can massively overfarm in this matchup. I'm going to overfarm quite a bit. Opponent brings in Giratina Origin, and it's Techno Blast time. Techno Blast nearly one-shots the Giratina, and I'm able to Fury Cutter down and leave with a Magnet Bomb to threaten the Shadow Drapion. GENESECT is just an absolute beast in this meta. And now I can bring in my Toxicroak. I have Toxicroak on the team specifically because it is one of the hardest Drapion counters in this meta. Mud Bomb is going to be able to take them out. In the back, they have a shiny hat Drifblim, and my Alolan Ninetales is going to be able to close out this game very comfortably. I'm going to fire off the Weather Ball. Weather Ball does a nice chunk of damage, and since my Alolan Ninetales is XL, I can very comfortably tank a Shadow Ball here. Shadow Ball, not going to be a problem whatsoever. A9 is able to reach Weather Ball number 2. That will be taking care of the Drifblim and securing the win. Hopping into the next match, picking up a great lead, Alolan Ninetales into Giratina. Opponent is going to save switch into Nidoqueen, and I'm going to stay in here and fire off a Weather Ball. This way I will get some nice chip damage. Weather Ball able to land, I switch into GENESECT, and I end up catching a Poison Fang. Honestly, that is even better. And now I can overfarm quite a bit with my GENESECT, and I'm going to go for the Magnet Bomb on the CMP tied to the Earth Power. Is my opponent willing to commit a shield here? They are not, and down goes the Nidoqueen. But if they bring back in the Giratina, Giratina is not going to appreciate these Techno Blasts. In comes Giratina, and I'm going to start launching these Techno Blasts. Techno Blast number 1 is going to get the shield. Opponent continuing to farm. They're trying to Dragon Breath down, but GENESECT is just too spammy, able to reach another Techno Blast, and I'm able to grab both shields from my opponent. They are able to farm down. I bring in the Ninetales, and they're throwing some energy here. The only thing that would be worrying is an Ancient Power, and they are running Ancient Power. That does do a surprising amount of damage, so I will start committing shields here. They're going to fire off another Ancient Power. They're able to grab a shield. They continue to farm up. In the back, they have Fire Fang Incineroar. Incineroar is one of the only fire types that is allowed in this meta due to its dark typing. So Incineroar, if I see it in the back, not a problem for Toxicroak, but if I caught it on the lead, would definitely be awkward. If I saw a Fire Fang Incineroar on the lead, I would have to play out the Zero Shield with Ninetales, take it out with Toxicroak, and then hope that GENESECT is able to sweep in the back. They're going to fire off a Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw plus the farm is able to take me out, but I have the Weather Ball stored on my Ninetales. Ninetales taking care of the Giratina, and that is a good game. Tough lead in the next match, Ninetales into Crustle. I save switch into GENESECT, and my opponent responds with Crobat. And this is not a comfortable answer to GENESECT, as I can start forcing shields with Techno Blast. Techno Blast, able to grab a shield. Crobat continues to farm, and I'm able to reach Techno Blast number 2. And just like that, GENESECT is able to get both shields. They're going to fire off a move. At this point, I'm perfectly fine with just letting the GENESECT go. They go for a Poison Fang, and they're going to fire off a second Poison Fang, potentially scared of me being able to reach another move. They are going to get the farm down after firing off the double Poison Fangs, and I'm going to bring in my Alolan Ninetales here. Alolan Ninetales is going to be taking super effective damage from the Poison Fang, but thankfully, it's only one Poison Fang, so I am able to survive it. I'm going to fire off the Weather Ball. Weather Ball is going to be getting that Crobat low, and once I get the Crobat out of the way, should hopefully free up Toxicroak in the end game. In the back, they have Nidoqueen, and things are looking really, really good for Toxicroak here. I'm going to fire off the Mud Bomb on the CMP tied to the Earth Power. Mud Bomb able to land, and I do need to respect the potential Earth Power here. Odds are they're probably baiting with a Poison Fang, but out of an abundance of caution, I will respect it. I'm going to farm up a little bit more and then fire off another Mud Bomb. That's going to KO. Back in comes Crustle. Crustle is going to fire off a charge move just before I'm able to get to my Mud Bomb. They go for the rock slide, I commit the shield, and since I'm debuffed, I felt like I did need to shield there, because otherwise I would be at a risk of getting farmed down. Mud Bomb, able to connect, I farm up, switch into the Ninetales, and catch what I'm hoping is an X-Scissor, and it is. Ninetales able to tank that no problem and reach the Weather Ball. Weather Ball will be taking care of the Crustle, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, picking up an incredibly good lead, Alolan Ninetales into Dragalge, and the Dragalge is actually staying in here. They farm up some energy, save switch into Scizor, and I respond with my Toxicroak. This Mud Bomb is not going to KO, but it is going to be getting that Scizor quite low. Mud Bomb gets Scizor deep into the red. Scizor is going to return fire here. I should be able to live an Iron Head, but they're actually running return that one-shots the Toxicroak, and I lose switch advantage. That is so unfortunate. They're able to reach a Night Slash. I'm going to let this through as I will be able to tank it, and I'm able to get the farm down. They're going to bring in Dragalge. I build up to the Techno Blast, and I'm going to be baiting with a Magnet Bomb. Magnet Bomb does get the shield. Dragalge does have a lot of energy here, and they're going to be able to reach a second Aqua Tail before I'm able to get to my Techno Blast. I will commit the shield, farm up, and they're able to get to the Aqua Tail. That is unfortunate. I'm going to commit the shield, overfarm as much as I dare, and then go straight for the Techno. I'm hoping that they decide to let this through, which they do. In the back, they have Bisharp, and here, I make a mistake, and I accidentally throw on alignment, giving them a free Snarl. That's really unfortunate. They let that go, and at this point, now it just comes down to a baiting game. I go for the Weather Ball. Weather Ball gets the shield. The question is, do they have Iron Head or Focus Blast? Bisharp, Focus Blast, massive damage. Ninetales able to withstand the Snarls and get to the Dazzling Gleam. Dazzling Gleam taking out the Bisharp, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, picking up a great lead, Ninetales into Runerigus. My opponent save switches into Shadow Drapion, and I have the perfect counter available in Toxicroak. One of the reasons why I do like Powder Snow on Alolan Ninetales compared to Charm is the fact that it does provide a significantly more comfortable matchup against Runerigus, which is something that the backline, well, more specifically Toxicroak, really don't want to see. They're going to fire off the Crunch. That's perfectly fine. I'm going to let this through and then let myself take a little bit of extra damage because I want to try and minimize the amount of farm that Runerigus can get. This way, I still reach my Mud Bomb, which is going to do some chip damage, but they get slightly less farm. I bring in the Ninetales. In the back, they have Galarian Wheezing. I do have to be mindful of a potential overheat here. I'm going straight for the Magnet Bomb. Magnet Bomb, able to land, and from here, I can just no-shield this. Even if they overheat, that's fine. Ninetales is going to win me this game. They go for a Play Rough bait, even better. They're going to fire off another move. Fine by me. I'm just going to let this go. They full send the overheat, and now I'm just going to commit to the farm down with Ninetales. Ninetales not quite able to get the farm down. I am going to respect the overheat. Even though it's debuffed, overheat is still an incredibly scary move. I'm at a shield disadvantage, but I have a massive energy lead over the Runerigus. Runerigus commits the shield on the first Weather Ball. I'm firing off Weather Ball number 2. They're going to let this go. That's not enough to KO. I have to try and double up here. I should live a Shadow Ball from this health range. They full send it. That does get me low. Ninetales is going to be able to double up, and that will secure the win. First Weather Ball gets the shield. Second Weather Ball is going to be taking out the Runerigus, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, leading Alolan Ninetales into Obstagoon. Even without Charm, a pretty decent lead. Opponent is going to farm up, save switch into Escab, and I respond with Toxicroak. And in this matchup, I make a massive mistake. Toxicroak wins the 1 shield and the 2 shield here, but it does not win the 0 shield, so letting that move through, a definite misplay on my part. I'm going to fire off the Mud Bomb. Mud Bomb not going to be enough to KO, and just like that, they're able to take switch advantage. I'm going to bring in Ninetales, and my goal is to tank a move and then hopefully try and farm down and hope that with energy, I'm going to be able to come back from this mistake. So I try and go for the farm down. I get nervous and I fire off a Weather Ball, another mistake, as I definitely could have farmed down. So now I have less energy than I would prefer, and they have a Nidoqueen in the back, so that energy would have been incredibly useful. I fire off a Weather Ball. I'm able to land it. I reach one more, but unfortunately this Poison Jab is going to be able to take me out. Weather Ball gets them low. I bring in GENESECT. They're not able to reach an Earth Power, but they're still going to be able to get that Poison Fang off, and that means that these counters are going to be doing more damage from the Obstagoon. And at this point, I am definitely in a losing position in this match. Quite a few mistakes were made. I go for the Magnet Bomb. Magnet Bomb does get shielded, and at this point, I do have to shield everything. They're going for the Cross Chop. I will be committing the shield, continuing to farm up, and firing off another Magnet Bomb. I'm hoping that if I double bait, I can make it to a Techno Blast. I'm able to get the shield, but as you see, I'm not able to make it to the Techno Blast, and unfortunately, we lose the match. Hopping into the next match, picking up a tough lead, A9 into Jellicent. Jellicent has a favorable matchup against this entire team, so it's definitely going to be a team effort to take it out. They're going to fire off the Shadow Ball, I tank it, and I immediately return fire with the Dazzling Gleam. Dazzling Gleam is going to do some nice damage when it lands. I'm going to farm up and then try and go for a CMP tie on the Shadow Ball, but my opponent goes for the extra. That is really unfortunate. Weather Ball does do some chip damage. They're going to throw one more Hex and then fire off a move. I decide to call a Bubble Beam here. It is just a Shadow Ball. I bring in Toxicroak, and they bring in Scrafty, so odds are they are double weak to counter in the back with the Jellicent lead. Foul Play is going to be resisted, so I am going to let this through, and I'm going to farm up 5 more counters and then fire off the Mud Bomb on the CMP tie. This way, if they want to get off their power-up punch, they will have to commit a shield, and they're going to let this go. And now this is a very different game, because I have a big energy lead on my Toxicroak. I'm going to fire off the Mud Bomb after one counter onto the Jellicent. Mud Bomb gets the shield. At this point, I should have recognized the fact that they're weak to Toxicroak, so I need to preserve my Toxicroak, maybe by switching it in. Instead, I tank a Bubble Beam, overfarm for literally no reason, and then let the Toxicroak go when it has a Sludge Bomb loaded. Just absolutely unfortunate plays on my part. In the back, they have Obstagoon. At the very least, I have shield advantage. I commit the shield. They go for an Obstruct, and everything is just going wrong in this game. I'm going to fire off the Magnet Bomb. Magnet Bomb does get the shield, so shields are down. I have to hope that a Techno Blast is going to be enough. I commit the shield. It is the Cross Chop. Come on, GENESECT. GENESECT farming up here. Their defense is boosted due to the Obstruct. Can Techno Blast KO? It cannot. Obstagoon able to hold on. This Cross Chop will be taken care of my GENESECT, and that is a good game. Hopping into the final match, picking up a great lead, Alolan Ninetales into Giratina. Giratina is staying in this lead, which means they very well could be weak to my Ninetales in the back. I fire off the Weather Ball. That does quite a bit of damage, and I'm going for Weather Ball number 2. If they're farming up this much, they could have Shadow Force. So I'm going to land it, switch into GENESECT to absorb this damage. This way I preserve the Ninetales for later in the match. It is the Shadow Force, and then they bring in Scrafty. Scrafty is able to counter down my GENESECT, but I'm about to return the favor with Toxicroak. Toxicroak just absolutely destroys Scrafty. They go for the foul play. Toxicroak does not care about that whatsoever. I'm going to fire off the Sludge Bomb on the CMP tie to the next foul play. That way, I'm not taking any unnecessary damage. My opponent probably going to be bringing back in the Giratina, but they do not. Instead, they actually bring in a Tapu Fini. I'm going to build up to the Sludge Bomb and bait with the Mud Bomb, hoping to try and grab a shield. Mud Bomb gets the shield, and in comes Ninetales. They do have a lot of energy, but I do have a shield advantage here. Things I have to be careful of, a potential catch. I'm going to farm up quite a bit. They go for the catch onto Giratina. I'm able to hold on to my energy. I'm going to full send the Dazzling Gleam here, hoping they decide to call the bait. Dazzling Gleam, able to land, and suddenly I see a win con. I just have to get to back-to-back Weather Balls. Weather Ball number 1 is going to be getting the shield. Come on, Ninetales. Ninetales able to withstand the water guns. If I commit this shield, I should be able to get to the Weather Ball. Ninetales able to get to the Weather Ball. This will be resisted damage, but it will be taken care of the Tapu Fini, and that is a good game. All in all, I believe that Chill Drive Genesect is an incredibly powerful Pokemon for the Halloween Cup meta, and on top of that, it is a non-XL Pokemon. I know it's a meta that is very XL heavy, but Chill Drive Genesect is incredibly spammy, and thanks to Techno Blast, it's able to hit hard enough to the point where it can actually survive and even thrive in a meta predominantly dominated by XLs. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you have not. And a special thank you, as always, to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.